Voici 3 jolis livres de Lynette Anderson, publiés chez Quiltmania édition, dans lesquels vous trouverez une mine de réalisation quelle que soit la saison. Ces projets pleins de fraîcheur vont égayer votre intérieur. Notre amie Lynette est toujours aussi inspirée quand il s'agit de préparer Noël. Elle trouve l'inspiration en flânant dans les allées de son jardin et nous crée ainsi une magnifique collection combinant patchwork et motifs brodés. Ces créations originales, associant le charme de la broderie à la main et les techniques traditionnelles du patchwork, ont été imaginées pour vous, en espérant qu'elles vous apportent beaucoup de plaisir à leur réalisation.
Hello, my name's Lynette Anderson and I'm talking to you today from my lovely studio in Queensland, Australia, where it's been the most beautiful day because we're coming into summer, but for a lot of you, you're coming into winter. And although we do celebrate Christmas at the same time of year that you do, we celebrate it on the beach very often, whereas you're all keeping cozy indoors and keeping warm. I'm very excited because today I'm going to talk to you about the little project that I've done for you for Quiltmania that's going to be part of their advent calendar type project this year. Mine, and I've actually made it into a very small little ornament which you could hang from a key or from your Christmas tree. You could make it up any way you want. I've actually made another one and I've made it into a coaster, and you can see it's got my beloved Hugo the dog on it, a lovely mistletoe wreath and a small Christmas tree. I've had a lot of fun working with variegated threads, and there are some very gorgeous ones available. Valdani make a very beautiful variegated thread. This is one that's made by some Australians. It's hand dyed and it's made by Cottage Garden Threads. It's actually the one I've used. And then Cosmo make a very lovely one as well that comes in lots and lots of different colours. So you're going to need some threads. You're going to need a pen to mark the design onto your fabric. I like to use a Pigma pen, which is a permanent pen. I like to use a brown colour rather than black because I find that the brown colour is easier to cover, and I'm using a 0.01, which is very fine. So you need whatever you like to use, but a pen to mark the design. You need some cream fabric, which is going to be your background for your stitchery. And I like to use a very lightweight stabilizer on the back of mine. Now this one is fusible, so you can feel it's sticky on this side, and that's the side that's going to go to the wrong side of your fabric, and then you're going to press it with the iron once you've traced the design. So you need some stabilizer. You're going to need to print the pattern out. I like to use a light box. I've got some very nice embroidery needles, which are clover number 9. Now you need a long-eyed needle for your embroidery, that way you won't damage the threads when you work with them. I've got some scissors and I've got some red fabrics that I've chosen. Now when you're doing your embroidery, you need 2 strands of thread. I like to work with just 2 strands, and I always put a knot in the end of my work before I begin. What we're going to do first to get started is we're going to place the design on top of the light box. We're going to take the fabric and place it, center it and place it on the top of the design, and once the light is on you'll be able to see it through the fabric, and you're going to use your pen and you're carefully going to trace all of the design elements onto the right side of your fabric. So here's one that I've prepared, and you can see the pen's quite dark, you'll be able to see to stitch it. And the thread will cover it very nicely. Then we're going to iron the stabilizer to the wrong side of the fabric with a nice hot iron. Give it a good press, and that will stop the shadows from the thread when you hop from place to place from showing. And then for this one I've just cut some little narrow 1.5 inch strips and put them around log cabin style and made it with some toy fill in the middle into a little tiny ornament to hang. Or as I said, you could make it into a little coaster, a hexagon coaster for your coffee. So nice and simple and really fun. And I've put the ear on here. You could choose not to do that if you wished. Thank you for joining me today. And if you're wondering about the quilt behind me, it's made using a new fabric collection of mine called Highland, and the pattern is called Gardener's Delight. Thanks for coming. Bye bye.